Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of r/malicious compliance. In today's episode, I can find the email address on the website. Okay, if you say so. Don't want 60 seconds of adjustment. Okay, enjoy waiting 6 weeks. I am 25, not 15. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe so that you will never miss a video. Let's get started. I can find the email address on the website. Okay, if you say so. This is without a doubt the best outcome possible from a bit of malicious compliance I could have achieved. I was only aiming to support my wife's good deed, but this paid me great dividends. This is a bit detailed as it covers a long span of backstory with a very rapid response once the malicious compliance was engaged in. The backstory. I've had a shoulder injury for over a decade. When it occurred, I had an MRI and was told the cartilage was fractured and tendon torn. Whilst healthcare is free in my part of the world, the lack of income while I would be healing prevented me from doing anything till 2017, when I figured I had a well-paying job and plenty of sick leave available. So I started the ball rolling on getting it fixed. I was initially put through physio to try and fix the problem, or at least strengthen the shoulder. I completed the physio, and as expected, the shoulder was still an issue, albeit stronger now. Forward to the start of 2018 and I had an MRI. I was told I'd hear from them in a few weeks to have a review. 6 months later, after extensive nagging from my wife, I finally called the hospital to see what was happening. Nothing like being told that the case had been closed. After a few firm but polite words, my case was returned to the waiting list. Wife was happy. I was content to be back on the list, although rather confused that I'd been removed. So I waited, and waited, and waited. The setup. My wife is a loving woman and I'm damn lucky to have her. After her nagging for me to chase it up falling on deaf ears. Although this is also because my work hours make me unable to contact the hospital during their office hours. This tremendous woman decided to sort it out for me and find out what was happening. i.e., am I still on the waiting list? After all, it was now almost 18 months since the MRI had been taken. My wife contacted the hospital and after being transferred a few times was connected to the right department. Unfortunately, she got stuck with an absolute Karen. The first response from Karen after hearing from my wife was to tell her she's not authorized to discuss the case with her. I've made it very clear in the past that my wife is authorized to act on my behalf. I could only assume later that this may have been due to the reactivation of my status via phone. My wife tried convincing her that she didn't require any details. All she wanted was for Karen to confirm if I was still on the waiting list. Karen, however, wouldn't give up so easily and continued to block my wife's request. Could Karen call me to inform me of my status? No. Blocked. Could Karen email me? Blocked. As you could imagine, my wife was getting a little frustrated by now. Finally, Karen did something useful. Since she wasn't going to contact me, I could contact her. My wife reminded her that calling during office hours wasn't possible. Karen countered, stating that's okay, he can email us. Wife: thanks Karen, what's the email address? There isn't any on our paperwork. Karen: that's okay, it's on the website. Wife: I have a paper and pen, could you tell me the email address? Karen: it's on the website, you'll find it there. Wife: whereabouts on the website? Karen: you'll find it on the website. Wife: I understand you're telling me it's on the website. What I'm asking is, where on the website is it? What should I be looking for? Karen: I told you, it's on the website. At this point, my wife was frustrated and tired from trying to jump through Karen's hoops. She thanked Karen for her time and finished the call. Frustrated, my wife contacted the local member of parliament for advice on how to resolve the situation. During my evening drive, I was listening to my frustrated, annoyed wife. She regaled me with the pointless call to the hospital and then her markedly better call with the local MP member of parliament. I felt anger and annoyance. My wife had tried doing something lovely and had copped poor treatment from the hospital. My wife told me when I got home I was going to write an email to the Minister of Health as that was the MP's recommendation. After a moment's thought, I told my wife no. The malicious compliance. I arrived home and told my wife that I was thankful for her time and effort, but it was alright, I would take care of the situation now, and I'm sorry that she'd had such a hard time that day. I opened my laptop and downloaded a program. This program is designed for marketing. It will scour through a website and pull any contact details, email address, name, title, contact numbers, etc., and compile them for people to then cold call employees of a company. I typed up an email detailing my case history, being dropped off and returned to the waiting list, my concerns about the validity of an 18-month-old MRI for surgeons, and the supportive albeit succinct advice from Karen. I identified her department and name-dropped her a few times in the email. Returning to my email spider program, I found a healthy 768 email addresses. After some thoughtful reflection, I removed any email address that didn't belong to the hospital, leaving me with a still rather healthy 300+ email addresses. Copy, paste into the to field. Then, to continue to up my game, I CC'd in the department for the Minister of Health, the Minister of Health, Shadow Department for the Minister of Health, Shadow Minister of Health, and then the local MP. I returned to my email and thanked the MP for their assistance, emphasizing how thankful I am as we are in the middle of an election. It's amazing how helpful politicians are around election time. I reread the email one more time to make sure I had captured everything I had wanted. It needed just one more item to highlight the importance of the email. I would like to thank Karen from Support Liaison for the limited support she was able to offer my wife despite her not being apparently authorized. I would also like to thank Karen for her clearly perfunctory instructions that the email address I needed to contact was on the hospital website, albeit with no additional information as to the location of the email address. I had to do some searching. Having followed Karen's instructions, I had found this email on the hospital website. Admittedly, it is only one of the 319 at hospital email addresses I found. I've presumed one of the remaining 768 email address not belonging to at hospital is not the one I am after. Although I'll assume no response from this email as an indication perhaps it is. Or perhaps I should be trying the other hospital subdomains and associated websites. If for some reason Karen's instructions have resulted in this being inadvertently sent to the wrong email address, please forward this to the correct department or Karen from Support Liaison. I'm sure with her cursory instructions she'll be able to direct this appropriately. With that little extra added, I smiled and hit send. As an amusing aside, I found over 3,000+ email addresses when I included the subdomains. I should point out that the hospital is a large group of hospitals covering a large region. The outcome: Week 1. The following day I returned to work. In my lunch break I did my usual catch up on emails. Except I noticed I had a few calls too. 911 missed call, 918 missed call, 925 email 1. Dear Cyberphobia_you. Thanks for your feedback, and I just wanted to update you and let you know that I have spoken to your spouse and given her the following information at this point. I have logged your complaint and sent it to the head of unit for ortho and referral management for investigation and response. I can confirm that you are on the orthopedic waitlist and have been since the 27th for 18. I have put a comment on our database under her details as emergency contact that states all information about appointments can be given to Mrs. Cyberphobia_you as per direct permission from Mr. Cyberphobia_you. I will follow up and escalate the complaint about lack of support given to your spouse by the patient relations coordinator she spoke to. I will keep your spouse and you updated on the outcome of the orthopedics appointment as soon as I am advised. I have a couple of questions I just need to ask you in relation to your concerns raised. Do you wish to have any response or outcome from hospital about this complaint relayed to the office of the Honorable Local MP? May I please have your permission to put your email address on our database? Please feel free to contact me if you wish to discuss anything further. Regards, not Karen. 1123 missed call. An appointment has been booked. 116 email to appointment details. I received an additional 38 automated email responses and another 5 responses from various individuals/departments wishing to contact me. I responded to the email from the not Karen and stated that I did not believe the details needed to be relayed to the MP at this point in time. Week 2. I attended my orthopedic appointment. The expected 2 to 3 hour waiting room experience was a brief 30 minutes to see the surgeon. As expected, surgery was the outcome. I make my way to the desk to provide my details to be put on the surgical wait list. The nurse behind the counter makes a quip about it being a priority. That's strange. I'm not in urgent need for this, I've lived with it for the last decade. I get told I should have some details sent out to me in the next week or so detailing my priority. Week 3. I receive a call about my availability. Standard sort of stuff. Can I attend same day if they have a late cancellation? I need a few days at least to ensure transition for my work. On the Friday I receive some paperwork detailing that I am a priority to, and should expect the surgery to occur sometime in the next 9 months. Week 4. Monday morning, 9:20 missed calls. 9:30 message from my wife, call me. I call her during my lunch break. As she answers the phone, I ask her, so when is my surgery? Week 5. Thursday morning, I get stabbed, jabbed and arthroscoped. Kept in for observations and then released today on Friday. Only to come home and submit my first Reddit post. Typing this one-handed has been a challenge. My wife received a call checking up on things and to inform her that Karen has undertaken a review of procedure, and if my wife would like a formal apology from Karen. Whilst my wife was frustrated by her actions, an apology wasn't needed. Knowing she had been updated on how to handle things so others wouldn't face a similar situation was enough for us both. Not to mention my exceedingly short turnaround for surgery. Edit. A huge thank you for the upvotes and awards. Due to popular demand and to save people trawling through the comments, the program I used to secure the email address was Atomic Email Hunter. There are others like it out there too. I am also based in Australia, despite the similarities to UK and Canadian healthcare. For those who think Karen was let off easily, I doubt the multitude of people who she works for / with who received this email would be thinking the same. As an amusing / concerning side note, the most interesting response I got from this was the sexual assault and family violence counseling service. It took them 2 days before they responded. Sure, my email had nothing to do with that, but if it had a 2-day delay is a bit sad. Don't want 60 seconds of adjustment. Okay, enjoy waiting 6 weeks. So I'm a dental assistant for a private practice. Let me just preface this by saying, most of our patients are wonderful people, friendly, happy to see us, respect our professional opinions and recommendations, etc. But literally just like 3 hours ago, I had the biggest Karen in for what should have been a simple appointment. So when we do crowns, or caps as some people know them as, we prep the tooth beforehand and take an impression. Then that impression goes to a lab and the techs there make the crown. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for them to send the crown back. When we deliver the crown to the patient, the doctor and I try the crown in first to see how it fits. It is very rare that it fits perfectly. We almost always have to make some adjustments. Shaving down the crown here and there, checking the space in between the teeth, checking the bite, etc. All of this is standard. The main thing we use is called articulating paper. When the patient bites down on it, we can see heavy blue markings where the bite needs adjusting. The more we adjust, the lighter those marks get, and even stop marking altogether sometimes. Most exchanges with the patient are like this: how's it feel? It's a little high, okay, we'll adjust that. We use the articulating paper, then grind the crown down a little. How's it feel now? Oh, feels much better, okay, cool, let's cement it, and this takes maybe 5 minutes at most. This lady we had tonight was having none of it. Us, how's it feel? Karen, ugh, it's way off. Us, okay, we'll adjust it. How's it feel now? Karen, the same. Us, really? No change. Karen, the same. Us, okay, no biggie, let's adjust more. We did this maybe for 5 minutes, over and over, and she kept insisting that it was exactly the same. No change. Even though the marks were gone at this point, meaning that her teeth were no longer even touching the crown. At this point we had a couple options, which the doctor presented to her. Doc, okay, well, I can keep adjusting the crown. The only issue is that if I keep reducing the porcelain on top, the metal underneath might end up showing. Are you okay with that? Karen, no. Doc, okay, well then I need to make a small adjustment to the tooth above this one, so that they don't touch. It's very superficial. Karen, no. Don't touch my other teeth. Doc, we do this all the time, ma'am. It doesn't harm the teeth. We're basically just polishing it. Karen, no. That's a lie. If you guys did it correctly the first time, you wouldn't have to adjust it at all. Me, ma'am, we do this for everyone. The lab almost never makes them perfect. We either have to adjust the crown itself or the opposing teeth. Karen, no, you screwed up. Me, well, we have to adjust one or the other, so which would you prefer? Do you want metal showing? Karen, no. Me, so we can polish the opposing tooth? Karen, no. Me, it'll literally take a few seconds. Karen, no, you're lying. It's gonna harm my teeth. At this point, the doctor suggested getting our office manager to talk to Karen. Our office manager is an awesome lady. She's old, doesn't give a duck, and is 2 years away from retirement. I told her the situation, and she laughed and said, okay, let's make her wait another month. I don't give a sheet. Lol. So she marched right in there and said, okay, ma'am, since you don't want this crown, we'll send it back to the lab and have them redo it. So instead of just waiting the 60 seconds for us to adjust, she now has to wait 3 weeks to come in again. And that's just to re-prep the tooth. Then she has to wait another 3 weeks for the crown to come back from the lab again. Anyway, thanks for reading. I mostly just wanted to type this out to rant. I've been working as a dental assistant for almost a decade now, and I've never had an exchange like that. It was so bizarre. I straight up think she was either lying to our faces or just crazy. It made zero sense. Lol. Edit, to the people saying she has every right to request the crown be redone. No doubt, that's not my issue. My issue is that she accused us of lying, screamed at us, wouldn't tell us why it felt exactly the same, and didn't want any solutions we offered. I've had many patients request crowns be redone. Not a problem. Sometimes the color is off. Sometimes the fit is really wrong. They just weren't total Karens about it. You can be polite and still get your way. I am 25, not 15. When I was 25, I had a job at an intermediate high school. 9th and 10th grade students, as the administrative assistant in the counseling office. A few times a week I would fill in at the main office to cover lunch breaks or help during busy times. On this particular day, the phones were going crazy and several parents and students were waiting at the front counter. I finished a call and moved to the counter to start helping. Me, how can I help you? Parent, oh, are you a student? Never mind. I'll wait until Mrs. Older Secretary is available. I said okay and began helping others. It was easily 5 minutes before the other secretary was available to help this parent, so she just waited. Apparently she was oblivious to the fact that I was answering everyone else's questions with ease, was wearing a staff lanyard and name badge, and also wearing a wedding ring. I might look young, but those should be giveaways that I'm not a 15-year-old student in this particular school. Mrs. Older Secretary asks what she needs. Parent, I need this specific form for my student. How do I do that? Mrs. Older Secretary, Mrs. Younger Secretary here does all of those. She can help you. Parent turns bright red and just stares me. Then had the nerve to say to Mrs. Older Secretary, are you sure you can't help me? Me, no ma'am. I'm the only person authorized to do that form. If you don't mind waiting another 10 minutes, I can go back to my office and get it for you. 15 years later, that woman still gives me dirty looks when she sees me out in the community. I'm still not sure why. I was perfectly polite, even when she thought I didn't work there. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.